Well, I just had a little bite to eat. It's so weird, you know. It's starting to cool down now. It went from 99 to 87 in an hour and a half. It's really nice now. You walk into a restaurant. I got my stable.ca face covering thingy right here. I got that, and I walked into this place. Now, in fairness, there was people spread out quite a way. There's like 4 people in this. It was a hibachi place, Yamato. It's a good place. Nobody had masks on. No one in the entire place. Now, as I said, they were spread out. It's weird. It seems like it's some places they have them on and some places they don't. And this isn't a damning description of Ohio. I was a little miffed last night when I saw the carnival operating in the mall parking lot. That was a little weird. But for the most part, I think most everybody is being pretty respectful and giving each other space. And I suspect that isn't the case everywhere when you read the news and look at what's going on. It's pretty scary times. I even got our clients now sometimes saying, hey, why are you in Ohio? Why are you down there? I went over this at the start of the thing, and my biggest fear, I'm not scared of getting COVID-19. Not at all. I'm not going looking for it, but I'm not scared of it. I am scared of having it and giving it to someone else. My wife, my kids. So when I do go home, before I go anywhere near them, I will go and get a test. Obviously, I think they said you can get them in the community center by our house anyway, so that's what I'll be doing. Now, somebody also said it takes 4 days to get it back, so maybe I'll get one down here before I go home. Anyway, whatever. But that is a concern of mine. I know that kids get it and they don't, they spread it, but they don't get sick or whatever for the most part. But you don't want to be that guy, right? I really don't want to get anybody around me sick and realize it was me. That would be a real shitty feeling. So anyway, don't want to be a killjoy. Things are good here in Ohio. The weather's nice. The racing's pretty good. And as of right now, there's 2 paragliders. As of right now, things are good in Ohio. So let's keep it rolling. Where did I leave off? I left off at Harry's barn. So let's go to Mario's barn. Mario's barn, a lot going on this week. And Mario wisely took the blood of War We Welcome after she raced. She raced good. I told everybody in another video the other day, just relax. This is by design. We didn't want to, we had this filly zinging tight going into her last start. We've been going easy with her. She missed middle of the week training trips. We didn't have her ready to qualify when everybody else was. This is because this is a filly that's big and lanky and tall, but frail. She's not a big, strong filly. She's just a big filly. She's strong. I shouldn't say strong. She's not strong. She's a little more fragile than say, a colt her size. So we've been going a little easier with her, and I thought she raced okay. To be honest, she got a vet appointment tomorrow just to make sure everything's all right for the gold race next week in Georgia. And if that's the route we choose to take, keep in mind, we had this filly eligible to the Breeders' Crown, the Goldsmith Maid, everything at the end of the year. Not to say the gold isn't important in Georgia. It is. But if we go to the vet and she says, her knees are a little pinchy, her feet are a little pinchy, then we go to train her in the middle of the week and we see the same thing, I don't think it would be unrealistic to just say, we're going to bypass the first gold and go to the second one. That is not what I plan on doing right now, but at the same time, a fluid week for her. 1, she has to pass her vet check. 2, she has to train real good on Wednesday, and then we'll decide what we're going to do with her. I would suspect, as I'm sitting here in a parking lot right now in Ohio, she will race a week from tonight at Georgian Downs. But let's start from the top. Blue Monk. Blue Monk is in to go tomorrow. A good qualifier for him. I think we've established that he is not as good on the front end. He beat me in a training set the other day. I think he got up and beat me at the... he did. He won the training set. James thought he should have stormed by, but we were coming the last 3 quarters 126. So we're putting gas into his engine. And I think you'll see a good mile from Blue Monk tomorrow. Cut the line, qualified okay. Mario said, I'd like to qualify her once more. If she can qualify in 56 or 57, great. Keep in mind, this is another filly that missed a lot of time. Her knees were bothering her. We had to back off a number of times with her. Just by math alone, she's not going to be as tight as other horses right now. So he was happy with her qualifier, Mario. but wanted to qualify her once more. By all means, go ahead. If she can't do better than she did on Saturday or Friday, I think it's probably a good idea to maybe give her some time off. This is a filly that's going to grow. Her knees have bothered her a couple of times throughout the year. So it might be a good idea just to back off and give her some time. When you look at the fillies, they went 52 the other night in the Golds. They're going to go 56 in the Grassroots. Where's that going to get us? 15 lengths behind the winner? No thanks. So this is a filly that's shown lots of speed, but at the same time has also shown that she may not be as physically mature as we want her to be. So Cut the Line in particular, I think her entire, for the most part, the vast majority of her 2020 racing season will hang in the balance of next week's qualifier. So she'll be in to qualify again next week, and then we'll get a good idea of what we're doing with her moving forward. Enduring Strength, here's a horse I talked about a lot this week. Talked a lot about a horse. For a horse that made a break, he got talked about a lot. I'll give you the Coles notes. If you want to know the whole story, go to the front of the video. Go to the front, my opening statement, and I'll be clear about it. Enduring Strength is in a position where I can't find a race to win with him. He's got $30,000 made. He's got a mark of 58. He's got 2 wins. I can't find a place to race him where I am confident he will win next week or the week after or the week after that. The foreseeable future, I don't see any victories in his column, so to speak. So we can either make him better, which we're trying to do, or we can put him up for sale, which is, I personally believe, the more prudent approach, simply because, yeah, he could do better in a smaller stable. That's great. Is he going to beat the non-winners at 3 somewhere? Negative. Not here, anyway. Not here, but not in Ontario. I think that Enduring Strength is going to be a useful horse for somebody. He's going to do all right, but when you look at the math of where he has to race, who he has to race against, I'm not certain that there's an immediate fix for that, other than an address change, maybe. So Enduring Strength is on a list of horses we're looking at potentially selling over the next week. First Glance is in to go tomorrow. We had him to the vet the other day, had some work done on him. Mario thought he was still a little shaky when he trained him on Thursday, Friday, whenever he trained him, but had been really good leading up to that. This is an instance where we actually got work done on him, and he didn't look as good after we did the work on him. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, it is what it is. We're going to see how he races tomorrow. He's been training great. He was in that training set with Blue Monk, where we come a last 3 quarters of 126, as he did also. So I'm excited to see him race tomorrow. Inland Beach needs to get... She's a little different. She fits a number of classes, but she's going to get better. I don't think she had much of a chance to race the other night. She had the outside at Grand River. You draw the 8 hole on a half-mile track. It's similar to dragging a dead body behind the bike. You can't make up any ground. It's unless you're the best horse in the race, the best horse in the race, or somebody goes ridiculous fractions up front. Finding your way to the winner's circle out of the outside post on a half-mile track is incredibly difficult to do. Pitch the line, put her in to go. Italian Grit, huge surprise from Italian Grit. 2 minutes, last quarter and 29 seconds. I knew he was getting better, but that's quite an improvement. 2.5 at Grand River, again, 8 hole. And then coming out and qualifying, and looked pretty powerful doing it. He didn't just win, he drove away from them. He made them like it. I was thoroughly impressed with Italian Grit. Went from, what are we going to do with Italian Grit in 2020 to, might be a stake horse, this horse. So Italian Grit leapt back onto the radar after his Grand River mile. So good for him. Great job by Mario and the crew on that guy. I'm Hill on Wheels will be in to go this week. He's going to need 4 or 5 starts before we see. It's a big colt, a big, long, lanky colt. He's going to need some time and some miles in him. A little bit of a shock and a surprise. The day I was leaving for Ohio, we had a horse show up in the burn. That horse had been there before, and then left, then came back, then left again, and came back again. Much like Lassie with the littlest hobo. Except she's not. Her name is Knockdown Dragout. She made her way back to the training center the day I left. Richard Moreau said, "I'm sorry, I can't help you out." Very frustrating filly. Mario wanted to take a crack at her, and I know they're going to have some chiropractic work done on her and see if there's something we can do that's not conventional to get this filly's mental issues and shortcomings sorted out. I looked everywhere for a horse psychiatrist, and I have not found one yet. So hopefully a little chiropractic work and maybe something outside the the painted lines will work for Knockdown Dragout. So she's back in our care now. Mario has her in the top barn. Off-road Hanover race pretty good. Finished 4th at Grand River. Again, another 8-hole for our 2-year-olds in with aged horses. Wonderful. Off-road Hanover raced about as good as he could out of the 8-hole. Jason Ryan gave him a great drive. Those boys are doing a good job driving for us on the B tracks. Really, everybody has. But notably in Ontario, Jason Ryan and Travis Henry both doing a great job driving our horses and representing us well on the B tracks. So good for them. Rooney Blue Chip, you know, when you race every 3 weeks and draw the 8-hole, another 8-hole, draw the 8-hole at Georgian Downs in a maiden that goes in, I don't know what they're, 58, 57 and a bit, makes it difficult to make any gains. And I'll be the first to admit, he looked to me like he was going to make a break coming to the half. The fact that he did not, 1, a great job by Mario catching him. 2, great job by the horse. You can't stop a 1,000-pound animal from making a break. You can help them not make a break, which Mario did. Great job. But Rooney Blue Chip has to have his head on straight, and he did. Come up trotting, he did lose quite a bit of ground in that 5/8 turn, but down the lane he was certainly making up lots of ground. I thought the horse raced very good. We need to simply get him in 2 or 3 weeks in a row. Can't keep racing this horse every 3 weeks, and it's nobody's fault. Can't get the horses in. He needs to be on a program, get him in to go. So hopefully Rooney Blue Chip now can get in next week also. Sunshine and Shade had a horrible start to the season, really abysmal to be quite honest, and looked terrible. We had him to the vet. We did some work on him. He blew a giant pus pocket out of his foot. It's been a tug of war with this guy. Mario trained him the other day, said he was better. He's going to take him over to Mohawk and go a good mile with him Wednesday. Hopefully that will lead to a qualifier shortly after that. Sweet Ambition, 2nd in Sarnia the other day. I had not talked to Scott Ray, one of the first times Scotty had driven horses for us. I didn't see the race. I just saw the line. I thought the line looked pretty good for a filly that's getting better and better. But I think this is a filly you'll see slowly, just baby steps, and she'll get up to. Maybe you'll watch a race in September and say, geez, that's not a bad filly. I think it'll take a little while, though. Sweet Ambition's race good the other day. Walk on the Moon is going to be in the gold on Thursday. We'll have War We Welcome next week. Walk on the Moon. We had I think we'll get to that guy in a minute. I think No Free Lunch race great. Going to make a few little changes with him, but having definitely still, as I said we are the best year by far in Ontario. It will continue and hopefully continue on Thursday with Walk on the Moon. War We Welcome, as I just mentioned, she'll be back in the go. Gold event next Sunday is the plan for her. We'll see how that goes. And then One My Heart Hanover made a break the other day. Sylvain kind of blamed himself. Just a little less than I thought she'd be, this filly, and no, a lot less than I thought she'd be. But it's a long year, and you know, if she just physically isn't able to do more, we'll work on the mental side of things, and then when we decide that mentally she's there, we'll give her some time off to grow up. It's unfortunate. This is a filly I had high hopes for this year. It doesn't mean she can't come back as a 3-year-old. I'm not going to ruin her as a 2-year-old trying to prove that I was right. Not going to be her year this year, I don't think, but that doesn't mean that she can't be an effective horse. I think she will win a race, whether it be at Mohawk or on a B track. I think she'll put it all together. Really, that's the first time she's made a break like that in a very, very long time. So I suspect she'll come back with a much better effort next time at Mohawk. So that's Mario's Barn. I'll be back in a minute with Jason and Kevin. Get a number of things to do after that, and it's getting dark. I better hurry up. Take care.